Gotta relax.
This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
Human music. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Gotta relax.
This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
Human music. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. Gotta relax.
This is Earth Radio. And now here's human music.
Human music. I like it.
Alright, round 2. Let's try that one again. Hey! I have audio. Hello, lovely ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlefish.
I can definitely hear you. Congratulations.
Thank you. We are joined by the lovely Lizzie Bell.
Hello.
Hello,
Not working for once.
Squiddy. How you doing? Biddly. Come on, camera. Focus. How are we all doing this lovely evening? If this will focus.
It says nuh-uh.
It does says nah. How rude of it. Alright, let's play with camera settings just for a second. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen.
More technical.
More technical sorry, it's been a day.
It's been a week.
It has been a week. It's been a few
It's
things.
only Tuesday.
What's that? Camera control. Focus. Autofocus. Alright, there we go. That's as focused as we're going to get it. You finally have some time to just relax from the D2 grind. Chill and chat for a bit. Oh, wonderful. Glad to hear it. So we're going to continue on with our colouring now that Drawtober is over. And now we're in November.
The year is so close to finish. The year is so close to finish.
It is so close to finish. It's getting there.
Ridiculous.
It's still quite Danish, but we'll get to finish soon.
Terrible.
I need a that's a terrible joke thing, like command
You do.
that just like boos me or something.
No, you need the terrible drum snare.
Yeah, and then or something like that. So these are for people who don't know, these are Oracle style divination-y cards, art cards that I have been making for quite a while. I've got some 200 odd plus of these cards, and many more in the works. But what we're going through and doing is basically just lightening and brightening them up a little. These are all done with pen and colored pencils. These quite nice colored pencils I have, but as you can see, they are not super vibrant at all. In the originals, they're a little bit more vibrant than these, but the what's it called? The scanning has taken a lot of the detail out of them. So what we're going to do is put a lot of that vibrancy back in them, hopefully so that once we rescan them in, they will keep that vibrancy and then look significantly better. We have some examples of ones we've done previous to. So as you can see, significantly more vibrant. And much more easy to see the detail in. So that's the intention for this lovely stream. We're going to do some of these, we're going to colour some things in, and we'll have little, chats about things, anything that anybody's interested in talking about. Please do let me know, and we'll get to it. So I hope everybody has had a wonderful day, /night, /morning, /evening, whatever it is for you. Out there in the wonderful wide world. Where do I want to start? Just alright.
No, it's been pretty good.
It's been a long day for you.
It has, but I like my job.
This is true. Good job. So I've been home today. luckily. I've just been doing some housework, been doing some art stuff, chilling. I did some work on one of my trials for the numerous order. Oh, I didn't order the alcohol brewing stuff yet. I need to do that.
How?
I know, I'm sorry. I'm going to put it on the list.
You just don't want me to become a 3.
Lizzie Bell's,
You know
Lizzie Bell's claiming I'm trying to hold her back.
Well, because you know I'm not going to skip it, because I'm doing them in order.
Alcohol.
I know I could just order them myself.
Brew
You
items.
said you would.
No, I'll do it. I'll do it tonight. I'll do it tonight. It's gonna happen.
Blah, blah.
It's gonna happen.
I'm joking.
So I've been working on number 13, I think. I am designing a game, or is it 11? One of the two. I'm designing a game at the moment. So that's an interesting one. We're gonna try and play a game of it on stream at some point, I would think. But because it's one that uses a custom set of cards or tiles, I currently don't have a way for us to play it, and they need to be like shuffled and then dealt out to people, and then have like a deck that you could. I don't currently have a way to make that digitally that I know of. I think if I got what is it, tabletop RPG or whatever it's called. There's a tabletop simulator. That's the one. If I got tabletop simulator and it wasn't too difficult to use, I might be able to make it on that. But I don't know what the sort of customization or modding is like for that, whether that's particularly difficult or not, because my tech skills are not nearly as high as my art skills, unfortunately. I have done some coding and some things in the past, but nothing to any significant degree that would allow me to like very comfortably or easily make a game, which is what I need to do. So we'll see how that goes. Is that the color I want for? What do I want to do here?
I just want you to know. I have 33 inkwells. 33,000 inkwells.
I was going to say, 33 inkwells, you've gone down a bit.
That many.
33,000 inkwells. That's ridiculous. We're going to have to find something for you to spend them all on.
Well, I will spend them on D&D games once they're back as an option.
Yeah.
I might also send you on a quest.
Oh, no, send you on a quest.
I might get you to send me on a quest.
That's the one.
Get a custom artwork.
You've got a custom artwork? You could ask me for a custom artwork.
artworks.
I was going to say, you have all the custom artworks.
I don't
There we
need
go.
to
Bit more
pay
light.
any of these things. The only thing I need to pay is things that you can do immediately in stream that entertain me and everyone else. Which is D&D.
Well, we're gonna work on that. That's the next one.
Hey.
That's the next thing that needs working on. So after I've fussed some other stuff.
That's alright, I'll just keep saving my points until then.
That's fine. You can do that.
I will.
It's probably a good idea. Yeah. So I've been working on that today, which means a lot of wood cutting in the studio. I've been making these little tiles, like that. They're sort of hard to see, but this is sort of the idea of it. 7 times 6. I don't know if math heads want to 56. There you go. 56 of those tiles I'm working on. We've got a nice tub of them. I've got 2 of these.
The brain says that might be wrong.
Did you just wrong to my stream? How dare. See if someone will correct you. No one's coming to correct you, so.
Am I that tired?
You might be.
42.
42?
Yeah, 42 is the correct number there. I'm pretty sure.
42 is the answer to life, the universe, and everything. So clearly, that's the correct answer.
I put my timetables.
What? You've forgotten your timetables?
Here's 42. Cool. I'm good.
He who forgets his timetables has forgotten the face of his father.
What?
It's a Dark Tower joke reference, something.
Fair enough.
Any fans of the Dark Tower series? Stephen King.
I don't think you as a Stephen King fan, I'll be honest.
I like some Stephen King novels.
Just a little bit here and there.
Yeah, just a little bit here and there. There's some good ones. It'd help if you guys could see the bottom here, couldn't you? There we go. See what I'm working on, it'd probably be good. Yeah, so the plan will be to continue working on that for a bit, and see if we can get that running on stream. If we can't do it digitally, which means that it will be if it's too difficult to do digitally, basically, then I will find a way for us to do it in person and stream the in-person games. Hopefully with our lovely cognitive bard and some others. But failing that, me and Lizzie Bell can play against each other because it is two-player compatible. Adorable. The game is better with more players, I think. Makes things a little bit more hectic. But I've not played a game with anybody else yet, so I'll have to see how it goes. But based on my understanding of the mechanics and having played it against myself, as myself against myself, it seems to function well so far. So we'll see how that continues. Such fubs.
Sorry. It's me and your mum, actually.
When I saw 7, then that makes sense.
I was sending her photos of her granddaughter.
Oh, daughter. Sleepy daughter.
Yeah.
She is a sleepy daughter. She's adorable. Best puppy. Do, 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 do. The other thing that would be sort of news or noteworthy, I'm trying to put together some artworks and some prints and things that will go on the Etsy store, and putting together potentially some merch and things like that. So if anybody is particularly interested in seeing a particular artwork, maybe one of the ones that are up in my little portfolio reel there. Hey, bees!
Excited bees for excited art.
Excited bees for excited art. Spam some bees. Because bees are fun. More fun. Bees! Adorable. I was saying something then. Yes, portfolio art. If you're keen on seeing any of the artworks that you can see in particular up there on something like a t-shirt or a mug or something, I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to do it. I'm not sure what company I'm going to go with yet. But my intention is to start making sellable things. just as a little bit of an extra income source, but also as a way of like giving people the opportunity to buy my art and have it as like gift things. So basically what I was thinking was trying to set that up in the next couple of weeks, in preparation for like the Christmas period, and then also just, you know, for future events and things. We'll do, what we'll probably end up doing is like a series of special, like, drops, I guess, artworks that are for events or for special periods of the year or things like that. So some of them will be limited release, and then some of them will be available all the time. If that's something you're interested in, do let us know, because we'll try and organize specific things. If you want to see specific things, then we'll... I know you're very interested in this. But yeah, if you want to see a particular artwork on that list, do let me know. Because that's it. It's only worth doing if people are actually going to buy it, and you know, you guys are more likely to buy it if it's the things you actually want to see. So, if there isn't something there that you particularly want, let me know that as well, because what I can do is start doing some custom works specifically for the ability to sell them, or make, you know, shirts and things out of them. So if you have something in particular that you want to see, please do let me know. You would like
a Christmas bee shirt.
Christmas bee
I
shirt.
already own one, but I want another one.
Well, we can get you a Christmas bee shirt.
And a shirt with Tia on it.
Oh, we could do a t-shirt. What would the Tia shirt be like? Be like best daughter on it?
No. It'd just be an artwork. Happy artwork.
Puppy
Or,
work.
you know how you can get, like shirts and things with little dog faces all over them, which is like little prints?
Little tiny prints, yep.
But you can never get like mixed dogs. It's always either a Rottweiler or a Kelpie. You could draw one specifically Tia's face, and they just have cute little Tia pattern.
A Tia pattern.
Yeah, Tia pattern.
We could do a Tia pattern.
Yeah. I would wear Tia socks.
Tia socks.
Yeah.
We could see about doing some Tia socks. That one's a little harder, I think.
Yeah.
But we could organize like an embroidery thing.
I mean, there are companies that do sock printing.
Yeah.
Is a thing. I just wouldn't be very durable.
No. There's companies that do custom embroidery too.
That's true. They'd be a lot more expensive though.
They would. But, you know. That's why we're asking. Because if people are willing to spend the money...
But I don't count people in this context.
No,
Me
but...
spending money on art.
Yes, but this is my suggestion to the streamy people, all of our audience and the people in the wider world. If you want to see something in particular, like, we can go to the lengths of, you know, custom making certain things. If you're willing to spend the money to then have them.
That's fair.
And I'm willing to put the legwork in to make these artworks and have these artworks, you know, custom printed and all that. But there's no point if people aren't going to buy them. So, while it would be entertaining for me to have my artwork on some things, it would be helpful to know what people are specifically looking for. Rather than just me picking a bunch of things that I think people will like. And then a couple that I, you know, just personally enjoy. Because we are going to put some stuff in the... We'll put some stuff in the shop anyway of things I like and things I think people will like, or I think will sell well. But if anybody has a preference of specific things, then that's different. If anybody out there is doing anything interesting for the Christmas period, do let us know. We've got a fair bit of travel booked, which does mean that our streaming schedule is going to be shaken up a little, unfortunately. But hopefully it should just be a couple of days here and there, and nothing too significant in terms of a stoppage. I think the majority of the breakup will be like Thursdays. Thursdays might suffer a little. Where are we traveling to? So we're just heading down to see family, mostly.
We had like 5 months of not seeing anyone because of lockdown.
Yeah, we had a long time of not seeing anyone.
Yeah.
Partially because of lockdowns, partially because we live so far away, and then partially because of Lizzie Bell's work, meaning we had to be a little bit more cautious than otherwise would have been. Yeah.
So we'll just be seeing family, but it's a lot of like, because I work all through the holidays, because I don't get holidays unless I apply for them.
Yep.
And it's hard to get them at Christmas. It'll be lots of like short weekend trips rather than, one long trip where we could set up there and do stuff there. Lots of driving. Yes, very, very, very near.
Yes.
Some of the flooding.
So that flooding in particular, it's funny you should mention that. We went down to see family for the first time in forever this past weekend, and while we were on our way down, we thought we would be clever and take the back roads because it would be a little bit faster. We ended up driving around for 5 hours, not getting anywhere.
Having to backtrack because we kept running into floods.
Yeah, we would go down a road, see that the river was flooding over the top of the road, and then have to turn around and then go a different route back. And at first it started being turning back around and then going to the next place to try and get back onto the same route that we were going, because we wanted to still end up in the same place. That quickly turned into actually just trying to get back onto a road that led us out of where we were, because we ended up in towns that we would take every single road out of, and all of them would be flooded in.
So we'd have to turn around and go back the way we came.
Yeah, so we ended up having to turn around 8 separate times because of flooded roads. And there was a fairly solid period of time where we were worried we might not even actually make it back home. We ended up going back home that night because it was just too flooded and it was taking too long, and I was getting tired because I'd been driving for 5 solid hours.
Experience.
Yeah, it was pretty silly. But we made it safely back home, and then the next morning we drove down and used the main roads, which are slower, but we well, not slower, faster technically, but they sort of go the wrong direction for a little while. But we got there in the end, which is good. Yeah, definitely close. A lot of flooded over roads out our way.
Apparently, one of the towns that I drive through on the way home from work had a 4-wheel drive swept off the road.
Yeah, so there were cars got swept off.
And thankfully I didn't drive through flood weather to get him, because I
usually
worked
go
night
that
shift
way.
and then came home that morning and it had rained all night. Like the creeks were all really high. I could see that they were high, but
Managed
nothing
to
over the
avoid
road
it
on my
just.
path. Sorry?
Managed to avoid it just.
Yeah, apparently. Not quite sure exactly where the sweep off the road was.
Apparently it's that paddock. That paddock that fills up.
Oh, I guess I wondered if that was the case.
Yeah, apparently it was right near there. So there's
cool. So yeah, directly on my road then.
Yep. Apparently there's a paddock that
So there is.
there is a paddock that we know
Every
that
time there's a big rain.
yeah, anytime there's rain that fills up really really badly. And apparently on that road it swept over and flooded completely, and then car got swept off the road. Someone in a 4-wheel drive who was being a bit brave.
You don't drive through these things.
Nope.
Yes, we're very close to the flooding.
Yeah, so it was a bit wild.
Just a little.
Just a little. But we were safe in the end, so that's what matters. And then we still made it down, kind of, in time for birthday things for my sister. So I watched June Part 1 the other day, which is the movie, I think. It was really good. I would recommend it to people who are fans of the Dune series. I thought it was one of the better better visualizations of the novels. And it seems like they intend to continue on with it as well, which is good. Fab.
Sorry. It's still me and your mother.
I can tell. But yeah, so we'll back to the original point. We'll be driving down to Sydney and surrounding areas to catch up with family and friends and things over the Christmas period. That will mean that some of our Thursday streams will be impacted, as we will be driving down sometimes on a Thursday night, and some of our and potentially some of our other streams might be impacted as well if I'm, super tired afterwards, or in the next week or whatever. Shouldn't be too bad. It should only be really Thursdays, but we'll see how we go with it. But yeah, just want to give some folk a heads up, because Christmas period gives everybody a little bit of extra time sometimes, usually, depending on what work you're in, I guess. Oh, thank you, Squiddy. Much appreciated. So I know there'll be people, wanting to watch a little bit more. And hopefully we can provide for you there. But we'll just have to see how some things line up. But I've got some time off teaching now, luckily. And then school holidays will come up soon, so I'll have more time to do some art streams. I'll have more time to do some gaming streams. And we'll try and be a little bit more consistent with that. Because we haven't always been the most consistent. But I'll do my best.
You are consistently inconsistent.
That's it. Consistently inconsistent. I intend to continue to be consistently inconsistent. As my increasing of streams is actually probably going to be random things throughout the week as well, and on the weekends. When I'm available, as opposed to any sort of actual consistency. So apologies, but also not really. Now there's an interesting discussion. We had discussions around this idea previously. I'm not sure if we had them on stream, but we definitely have had them previously in the group. Of whether or not an apology is an apology if you still intend to do the thing afterwards. And my thinking with that is that's not an apology, because if you actually meant to apologize, if you actually were sorry about it, you would stop doing it. And as I do not intend to stop being inconsistent, I probably shouldn't apologize. So I rescind my apology. You'll just have to live with it. Sucks to be you, ladies and gentlemen. I need to figure out some way to fix this camera, because it always overcompensates for the things, so you can't see the detail very well in this stuff. But that is a job for another time. Hey. Die Hard is a Christmas movie. So, I believe that Die Hard is absolutely a Christmas movie.
We're actually in agreement here, because I also believe that Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
There we go. By most criteria, I believe it is a Christmas movie.
Well, what specifically makes a movie a Christmas movie?
Well,
as opposed to a movie set at Christmas.
Well, that's where things get tricky. Is there's no one criteria by which.
What do you think makes it a Christmas movie?
So, it's got the family thing, it's got the feel good thing in it. It takes place around Christmas, which is important. It is about a story of a father trying to come home to his family, which I think is another good trope in there.
It's just a retelling of I'll Be Home for Christmas.
That's it.
I don't know which one is last.
I don't know. Maybe we'll have to look that up. But it has all the hallmarks of a good Christmas retelling. I think yeah. Hey. I think one of the big problems with it is that it's so actiony. But then you could talk about things like Home Alone being Christmas movies and things like that. So it's by which criteria you consider other things to be Christmas movies.
So I don't think action should be excluding factor, because most other Christmas movies fit into another genre.
It's
a lot
true.
of them fit into the family genre or the romantic genre because that's popular. But that doesn't mean they're the only genres that Christmas movies can fit into.
Yeah. I would agree with that.
Hard ones. I'll have to watch it again.
We'll have to watch it this Christmas.
It doesn't have the forbidden song in it, does it?
I
assume not.
I don't believe it does. That would be ridiculous.
Come out in.
That's a good question, actually. We're talking about Whamageddon as part of it. So, Squiddy, what's your categorization of Christmas movies? What makes a Christmas movie for you? Because I think obviously there can be like the overlap discussion, things that are in multiple categories. But I think that the major category is the one that's important, the one that sits most in.
I mean, fair.
Takes place at Christmas? Yeah, fair.
So does that mean? Is it predominantly at Christmas? Because you can't say that every movie that contains Christmas is inherently a Christmas movie.
So
is every movie that's predominantly at Christmas a Christmas movie?
Well, it would have to taking place during a Christmas time period. So over the course of
yes, as opposed to a movie
Christmas.
that does like a whole year and has a day for Christmas as a part of it.
Yeah, no, it would not be a Christmas movie unless it's specifically focused on Christmas or
As the time period.
or the Christmas period as its setting. Yeah.
Cool.
I think that would be a reasonable distinction.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, most of the Christmas movies that I enjoy are ridiculous rom-coms. So
Yeah.
the focus isn't even necessarily Christmas, it's just the setting because people think Christmas is romantic for some reason.
Predominantly Christmas like Home Alone. There you go.
Yeah, okay.
Yep.
I agree.
That's a good argument.
This is the easiest genre discussion so far.
You know why?
Are you about to say it's because...
Because Zeus isn't in the chat and Cog isn't paying attention.
He should pay attention, although he probably agrees. He might not, though.
He would probably agree.
I feel like he would.
I think he would potentially...
I'm gonna send him a message.
He might potentially argue for the sake of arguing the point, but I think he would agree, generally speaking. Yeah, I would agree. I would concur with that point, Squiddy. That it just needs to predominantly take place during the Christmas period.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I think it helps if it has some Christmas-y themes to the movie.
So I think that is one of the categorization factors. What?
I just have messaged him.
So Tim submit.
Oh,
Wait.
no, he agrees.
He agrees? Perfect. He's agreeing with us. Wonderful.
He says the first one is, yeah.
The first one. That's an interesting distinction to make. I think I would probably agree with
I
that.
haven't
But
seen any of the others, so I have no say in this.
I don't think I've seen all of them. I think there's 4 Die Hard movies. Is there not? I've definitely seen the first 2 or 3. But yeah, I think Christmassy themes are a necessity. Family in some capacity. And I don't think it needs to necessarily be the major theme, but I think it needs to touch on elements of family, or like who your family is, or how your family teaches you, treats you, or things like that. Yeah, or chosen family. So for Home Alone, for example, the kind of exposing the treatment of the family and how they're not, the best is a pretty common trope.
Spoilers.
I mean, it happens literally in the first
I'm joking.
5 minutes.
Yes, but some people probably maybe haven't seen it. I don't know. People do weird things.
I mean,
like not see
the
movies,
whole
but-
premise of the movie is that he's home alone
Yes,
on
but
Christmas.
there could be many reasons for that. You don't know.
I do know. I've seen the movie.
I'm sure there's someone in the world who hasn't seen Home Alone.
Oh, there'd be lots of people who haven't seen it. That's not my fault.
True.
So one of the ones we used to argue about more often, I guess, rather than all the time, but more often, is Nightmare Before Christmas. Now, definitely, arguably, a Christmas movie and a Halloween movie. But which one is it first? Is it more a Christmas movie or more a Halloween movie? I will let some folk mull it over for a minute before I give my piece. More Christmas with Halloween elements.
Interesting. I think I may have said the opposite, but again, I've only ever seen it once. Don't judge me for that one. There's a reason for it.
There is a reason for that. So, my discussion with it has always been that it depends on who you are. So, it's more of a Halloween movie if you're a regular person. Because it has more Halloween-y style elements to it. Yes, they end up going into the whole Christmas land and doing the Christmas thing, but it's couched within the setting of Halloween land. And so the Halloween town and around Halloween-based characters, and it's spoopy and all that kind of stuff. For regular people, that's more Halloween-y. But for your alternative gothy type people, that's every day. So the Christmas elements are more important and therefore stand out more, and so it's more a Christmas movie. So for your gothy emo scene kids, it's more of a Christmas movie, and for your regular folk, for your normies, it's a Halloween movie, which I think is a reasonable assertion to make. It's been a while since you've seen it as well. Yeah. I don't think it's been too long since I've last seen it. Watched it with Lizzie Bell.
Yeah. Was it this year or last year?
Last year, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was last year.
Watched it for last Halloween or last Christmas.
Last Christmas. Not December yet, and I'm the original artist. Last Halloween, I think.
Last Halloween. Yeah, that makes sense.
We can watch it for this Christmas though.
You can?
Along with Die Hard.
Along with Die Hard. Well, we do need to watch Die Hard.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas movie after all.
Can't watch any of the movies that have the forbidden song.
The Forbidden Song.
Just getting into the habit.
Well, we need to start watching all the movies that have it in it now, so that you don't feel tempted to watch them later.
I've already started.
Very good. Very good. I tend not to watch Christmas movies.
I like rom-coms,
I
and
know
there
you
are
do.
just a huge amount of Christmas
There are an
rom-coms,
endless amount of Christmas rom-coms.
especially on Netflix.
Yeah.
And so at this time of year, they all start showing up
Oh, that's
As
right. Yeah,
suggestions.
they do.
on Netflix.
And for someone who is so happy with watching repeats of things,
Hey now. Might be true.
which is legitimate, it's a reasonable thing to watch something that's comfy because you've watched it before and you know how it goes. That is a legitimate thing. Talking about Christmas movies makes me think of a scene where Macaulay Culkin puts a spider on Daniel Stern's face. I vaguely remember that. Is that in the first one? Good times. Yeah, the first one. Cool. I'll have to rewatch Home Alone. I remember in the second and the third one, he becomes like a really cocky shit, and you stop feeling bad for him, or at least I did. Might just be because I'm a bad person, but who can say? Who can say?
I missed what you said that made you a bad person, sorry.
Macaulay Culkin,
Mhm.
because I forget what the character's name is.
Kevin.
Kevin, there you go. In the second and third movie, he becomes a bit of a shit, and I stop having sympathy for him being left behind, and that his family is super neglectful and shitty.
But, he is a child.
He is a
And
child.
so therefore his behaviours are as a direct result of his shitty family.
Yeah.
So you have to have sympathy for him because he didn't create himself to be that way. He's a shit. But it's not his fault that he's a shit. It's his family's fault that he's a shit. Like, he could potentially just be, like, a sociopath. That is a possibility. But the first movie doesn't imply that.
Well, the first movie, he's definitely not, and I have sympathy for him in the first movie, for
Which
sure.
means that his behaviours escalating were not from sociopathy. They were just from his behaviours escalating due to his family's poor behaviour.
Continued neglect.
Yes. Which makes it their fault, and you should have no sympathy for them. You should feel for him and his poor functioning and poor adjustment.
Fair. Alright, you've swayed me. Like a great tree.
I'm good at that.
Speaking of great trees, are we gonna have a Christmas tree this year? My lady love? We had a tiny one last year. Or was that the year before?
It was the year before, yeah. Last year we had a painted one.
Oh, we had the painted one. That's right.
Which
We could just get the
have.
painted one out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that. Maybe we'll do the painted one. Because trees are important to the whole deal. You're important. It's 9:30 already.
Yeah.
It's streaming for an hour. Time flies. So I've been listening to June on audiobook because the movie came out. It's been a while since I've read June, so nice to get back into it. I'm very much appreciating the audiobooks. I'm in two minds about the whole Amazon thing though, because we use Audible. But the audiobooks are significantly more helpful than just reading on my own, so what with the dyslexia. This song always reminds me of Cirque du Soleil.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's very their style. It sounds very, very similar as well to one of the songs they use. It's actually been in a few of their different shows.
How many of their shows have you seen?
6, 7. I've seen a few.
I've seen one, and it was with you.
Well, we'll have to see more of them. Yeah, I saw them, I think it was like the first time they toured Australia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we went to the original Cirque du Soleil.
My sister, unsurprisingly, has seen them quite a few times.
They're really good. I actually know someone who toured with them.
Oh.
She did Trapeze and Silks.
That's cool.
Yeah, which is very funky.
How do you know her?
We went to art school together.
That is unsurprising.
Yep.
That's fun.
Yeah. Yeah, so if you get a chance to see Cirque du Soleil and you have not, I would recommend that. It's very European, in that it's weird. It's not your traditional circus.
But it is animal cruelty free.
But it is animal cruelty free. And it's got some interesting techniques and story elements. I think it's probably the best way of saying it. They do some really interesting things with their shows. And they're usually around like a theme, a particular theme. And all their performers are very impressive. So if you get the chance, do go and see them. They usually come out every year or every couple of years with a show or two. And the shows rotate through. So they'll have performers or acts for each sort of show theme, and then they'll have different performers in the various shows. So it'll be like one of the themes will be like curiosity, and then they'll have maybe 3 or 4 different shows with different performers, but it's all under the same like curiosity theme over the course of like a year or 2 years. We're just doing our line work in now. Finishing up our colouring here. Oh, I just made a mess of that. That's disappointing. Oh, well, just pretend it's intentional, right?
Yes.
How this works?
Yes. That's how art works, right?
Yeah, totally. Actually, more often than not, yeah. So the eventual plan with these is that we will be linking these up. Just double check that I'm doing this correctly and not just ruining this piece. Yeah, that looks like I'm doing the right thing. Maybe I'll use the Micron actually. I think that's the problem. I was supposed to be using the Micron pen and I wasn't. Because this is a... Yeah, this is a 0.4, this is a 0.2. It's a much finer pen. If it's got anything left in it. And I don't think it does.
Oh no.
Oh no!
I think you've only got 0.4s now.
I do.
I need to get you another one.
Possibly.
Well, you're shoving tomorrow, you can take that. Probably don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say, we might need to,
I need to go to a bigger town.
we might need to go to a big town.
Problems with living in a tiny country town.
Yep. Well, even if I go to our next largest town,
Would they have it at Office Works?
maybe. Yeah, maybe actually. Office Works.
That seems like the best place to look for it. I don't know where else you'd go.
Well, other than that, we need like an art supply store.
Probably have one of those somewhere.
We do in Orange,
But Office Works should be fine.
but Office Works should be fine. ideally, if they've got it. But yeah, so the idea is that we're going to lay these down as the base, and then we're going to put the original versions over the top of them digitally, and that way we get the vibrancy of the markers and the micron pen, or in this case the outline pen, and the detail from the pencil sketches, the colored pencil sketches, so that we get kind of the best of both worlds is the idea. And we'll see if we can pull that off if it works well. If not, then we might just have a couple of versions of the card sets. One that are a little bit less vibrant, but sort of finer detail work, and one that's more vibrant but less detail in it. I'm just working on this pie at the moment. Oh dear. Big size. Totally wastable. So I think one of our next Polol streams is going to be the ever contentious argument around genre and fantasy movies, which sprung up after the last Polol, in which we discussed what the best fantasy movie was, top 10 fantasy movies. And inclusion on that list was controversially placed there, partially as a joke and partially in some measure of seriousness. I argued against it, was overruled by the majority, and so it was placed upon the list. But now we're gonna have it out and have the argument and see who wins, I guess. So do hang around for that if you're interested, or if you would like to make the case in the chat now. Get a head start on ideas. So I pretty much have my thesis formalized. I think I potentially need to do a little bit of research on this one particular case. These fingers look so chubby. I think it's because I made them so short.
That's alright. They can have chubby, stumpy fingers.
They can have chubby, stumpy fingers. Whoever this is.
Chubby, stumpy fingers.
True dat. True dat. So this particular artwork I found quite interesting when I was making it. The idea behind it is that it's the threads of magic. So it's, I believe it's one of the ways that in the D&D world they discuss one of the ways in which magic works as this kind of vibrational force that the user sort of plucks at the strings of reality, creating a magical effect. And I found that to be a very interesting sort of measure or way of discussing magic. And so I wanted to attempt to visualize that. Because it sort of struck a chord with me. Of the idea of like bards and wizards and stuff, of through making incantations, saying things, and via so hand movements and things like that, that you could shape reality, and that shaping of reality is done in a very particular way. So it kind of made sense to me that there was this sort of like series of magical strings, almost, that you could pluck or manipulate, and that they would in turn, one after the other, vibrate together, and that vibration creates an effect. In the same way that you would pluck the strings of an instrument, and the air vibrates, and that creates a sound that is then transferred to you and heard as song or music or whatever else. So I liked that idea. It sounded interesting to me. And I'm not sure how consistently that that is said to be across the whole of the setting for D&D, because they're quite expansive settings, and some of them stretch off into other realms or other worlds with different physics and mechanics and things like that. But I thought this was just an interesting little thing. So I've got the various strings there being plucked. So I think after we've finished this one, we're probably going to raid out elsewhere. So I'll finish doing my marker. I've got 3 more sections to go, so we've got a little while yet. But I think at that point we'll then raid out elsewhere. So if anybody would like to guide the raid, you can do so via channel points. Otherwise, you can just suggest someone, or I'll see if there's someone interesting streaming once we get to that point, and we'll shoot out that way. If you are planning on using your guide the raid, and we don't get to them in time, that they finish before we do, or if they themselves raid out to someone else before we get there, I'll just refund you points, because you wouldn't have actually used them. Not sure yet what we're going to do tomorrow for stream. It'll either be a game or art, as is usually the case. If we're doing art stuff, we'll probably just do a little bit more of this. If we end up doing game, it'll probably be either Book of Travels, or it will be Darkest Dungeon, probably. But we'll just have to wait and see how we go. I don't think anyone in particular is looking to stream with us. But we'll see how we go. If anyone in our little stream community wants to do something, we'll have a look. Just a reminder, ladies and gentlemen, if you would like to see anything in particular, if you'd like us to play anything in particular, do let us know. We can try and organise that for you. I know, Squiddy, you are keen for us to play some Destiny 2. We need to organise and rally the troops for that one, I think. You could recommend a game, Squiddy? What game would you recommend? And is it going to be Destiny 2? Three, actually. D2, Skyrim Anniversary, or GTA Definitive Edition. Interesting. Is the Definitive Edition San Andreas? The remastered San Andreas? Because apparently that's terrible. Not the actual game itself, but like just the visualizations and stuff that they've done. Apparently they really scrimped on the polygons. I would happily do a Skyrim playthrough, I think. All three GTA, 3 Vice City, and San Andreas, right? Cool. Yeah, I would play some GTA, I reckon. So I don't think any of those, the GTA sets, are multiplayer. I believe they're only single player, from memory, back when I played them, at least. But yeah, I would happily play through another playthrough of Skyrim. I started a very brief one for half a moment. But then instantly got distracted by all the other things in the world. So I might pick that one back up and do it on stream. That would be some good fun. The GTA stuff, yeah, would probably be interesting too. I'll give that a go. And the Destiny 2, I think we have to get Bluebird and Cognitive Bard onto that one, so that we can all play it together. San Andreas had a very basic 2-player mode, but it's mostly single player. Okay, yeah, that's what I thought was the case. I remember playing them pretty much all single player on consoles back in the day. Some of it on PC, I think, if I remember rightly. But yes, those are all good suggestions. We'll take that under advisement. Actually, I'll write down now. What was it? The definitive edition. GTA Definitive. Because if it's not too expensive, I might just pick it up anyway, even if I don't end up streaming it. But I'm assuming if it's all 3 games sort of rolled into one, probably not going to be the cheapest. I know how Rockstar likes to $100. Oh, yeah. I know how Rockstar likes to bleed a cash cow. Maybe after Christmas? Yeah, that's it. That one definitely might be an after Christmas patches. Once we've got a little bit more cash sitting around. Although I probably shouldn't be spending too much cash at the moment. We're trying to save up for a house. So moving down to Melbourne. That's the plan. Skyrim Anniversary is $30. Bargain! For such a great game. I do love Skyrim. Skyrim's good fun. Especially if you like chuck a fuck ton of mods into it. You can get a lot of fun out of that. If I did a stream playthrough, I probably would just play it raw. Just the base game. I don't know. Maybe mods would be fun. Have to see. Having said that, hopefully before paying $100 they might fix any launch issues by the time we get it. Or even drop the price as well. Yeah, I'm not sure that they will, is my concern. Because they're old games to begin with, so you know they're going to be a little buggy anyway when they're being ported over to new things. And then because you're getting so much content, I have a feeling they're probably just going to be like, well, you know, you'll just play the other bits. Like, don't worry about that bit that's broken or, you know, the bit that looks stupid. Just, you know, enjoy it. Nostalgia or something. Which would be depressing. But I have a feeling that would probably be their stance. Just knowing Rockstar. They have fixed up things in the past, though. It hasn't all been terrible launches and no support to games. Alright, so we've gone from barely being able to see them to now being able to see them, which is great. We've been streaming for an hour and a half. What the time is? The time is now 10 o'clock. I think that's a pretty good time to head on out. Next art stream, if we art stream, we'll either be doing this one, which is one that hasn't been made into cards yet. This is a brand new set of things. We'll be colouring in this lovely heart for our lovely Lizzie Bell.
Oh, me.
Or you. Either of those two are options, or we might, or as well, we might also be doing some of these colour ink drawings. Hey, Calamity, how you doing, bunny?
Hello.
Of some of these things. Actually, we can make an interesting something out of this. Let's do that.
They look so good.
So these are going to be prints or cards or something. We're going to figure out exactly how we do this, but
Well.
We are doing well, Calamity.
Bit tired. It's 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah, a little tired, but we get there. There we go. Does that look creepy enough?
Yes, but it's also blurry.
I need to work on my fucking... what's it called? Stream bitrate, blah blah blah. Because I have a feeling that you guys are seeing something much blurrier than I'm seeing.
It was only blurry for a moment.
Oh, it was only for a moment?
It was just camera focus.
Ah, okay, cool. Yeah, so... okay, good. So we're now heading off. So if anybody wants to guide the raid, you could. You just got home after 4 nights working away.
God.
Jeez. You're a trooper, man. I don't know how you do it. I know you love your job, and like that's awesome. But I don't know how you do it, man. I have no idea. Alright. I think we might raid into Charles, who's doing some... You said it, you love your job? Yeah, that's it. Makes sense, man. Just very impressed. Hope I have a good evening. Thanks, man. Yeah, so we're gonna raid into Charles. I think he's doing some interesting... He's doing digital art at the moment, which I haven't seen Charles do a whole lot of. He's doing digital art. Oh, that's fancy. All right. Well, we'll go and give him some love. But raid, dude. All right, so you can chuck in your bees with me if you have them, if you are subscribed. If you are not, you can just give love however you can. And we will catch you tomorrow. We'll either be doing more art stuff or we'll be playing a game of some kind, Book of Travels or Darkest Dungeon, probably. But yeah, so we'll catch you tomorrow. Thanks for joining us. See you next time. Bye.